Okay. Good afternoon. We'll call the meeting together for the Protection Policy Committee for Monday, December 8th. It is now 4 p.m. Roll call. Let the record reflect that all are present. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda for today.
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All
Oh,
in
wait,
favor?
hold on. I gotta sign everybody in. Sorry. Look at council. Okay, second. And who seconded? Alder Hutchison?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. On to approval of the minutes from November 17th.
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. All right, before we start our regular business today, I just need to inform you the items we discuss at this meeting and vote on will be a recommendation to Common Council for final approval. Our next Common Council meeting will be on Tuesday, December 16th at 6 p.m. in the room next door. A question that we normally receive, do you need to to attend the Common Council meeting after we have voted on your agenda item? This committee's answer to your question, our vote is a recommendation to Common Council. The items before us may or may not be pulled for future discussion at the Common Council meeting. Your attendance at the Common Council meeting is your sole discretion. All right, we'll move on to regular business. Number 1, for consideration with possible action to approve an application for a Class B liquor and Class B beer license for Grassy's Tap at 1939 Main Street with a licensed premise description as bar area where liquor and beer will be sold, walk-in cooler, and small office area for records. Attorney?
I'll defer to police department.
Thank you, please.
We did a background check. The police have no objections to this license.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. On to number 2, for consideration and possible action.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's no video, like I can't see anything, is it not on there?
Yes, thank you, Alder Eck. I'm not sure why the video isn't going to Extron in Zoom here, so I'm not sure. But I'm glad you can hear. I don't know why the video's not on.
Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something here, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
And she can hear me clearly?
Yeah, I believe she can hear. All right, Alder Eck, you can hear? Alder Grant?
I can hear, I just can't see
See,
anything.
yeah, okay, awesome, thank you.
Okay, thank you. On to number 2, for consideration and possible action on the communication by Alder Grant, District 1, and Alder Johnson, District 9, for staff to review and update Article 3 of Chapter 24, Green Bay Code of Ordinances relating to the regulation of noise to incorporate current technology with enforcement requirements. Attorney?
Yeah, the noise ordinance has been requested to be looked at. I would recommend having this referred to Law Department and PD to look into exactly what the details are and come up with potential draft language for any ordinance changes that are appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Questions?
Is this directly related to the short-term rental issue?
I don't know any more background information other than the
Okay.
language of the communication.
Just, okay, thank you.
And how long would it take for us to come back to it? Do you know?
With the holidays coming up, I would ask for, maybe a month or two to come back to PNP.
Maybe end of February?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to refer to staff?
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. All right, under number 3, for consideration with possible action.
Older Grant had her hand up.
Oh,
okay.
hold on, we can't see her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks, Alder.
Are you
All I
here to
was
speak
just
on
gonna
this one?
chime in, I know you said you don't know the background on this. Ultimately, came up in conversation when talking to Chief Davis and Attorney Cochart through other communication that ultimately our ordinance could use some cleaning up, that it's very hard to enforce at this moment. So just trying to get it more updated and enforceable.
Motion to open the floor?
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You can come up, or, if you could just state your name and your address for the record.
Hello, Frank Torres, 617 Boddard. I came before the board today to, first out of curiosity, because the description on the agenda was very vague, but also to embrace any measures that will improve or strengthen our noise ordinances, and also at the same time, not to make sure that we're not using these changes to the noise ordinance to offset any much-needed reform to our short-term rentals and that ongoing debate, which is very, very complicated and deserves everybody at the table whenever possible. And that's all I have to
Okay.
say. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Take a motion to close the floor.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need to reconsider? No? No, we're good.
Okay.
Okay. On to number 3, for consideration of the possible action on the draft ordinance related to International Fire Code. Chief?
Let Fire Marshal Coolman speak.
All right, thank you.
So the state has adopted the 2021 edition of the fire code. Right now, we're at 2015, so that just kind of keeps it with the state ordinances and the adopted fire code. So one of the major changes is the food truck ordinances, so we can actually now inspect food trucks where before we didn't have the authority to do so. But
That's a good thing. Any questions?
Motion approved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Thank you.
thank you.
On to number 4, consideration of possible action on the draft ordinance related to Equal Rights Commission. Attorney?
Yeah, my understanding is that with a couple of vacant spots on the commission, that the purpose of the reduction is to help ensure that the commission can maintain quorum. So that's why the request was made to reduce from 9 seats to 7 seats.
Are they having difficulty finding people?
I don't know what the results of the searches have been or whether they've got volunteers to fill. I know that other voluntary commissions and boards have had recruitment challenges over the years, but specifically related to the ERC, I'm not sure if what that volunteer status is, if there are any people who have expressed interest.
You're on it, aren't you?
And then also
Alder
Terry Yang
President.
raised her hand in Zoom,
Oh,
just to let you know, Chair.
Okay, the other couple. All right, Alder?
Yeah, I can just speak as the alder on the Equal Rights Commission. We've had about 7 people on and off for as long as I've been on it. So this would just sort of codify what we've been doing so far. And instead of needing 5 to reach quorum, then we would need 4, which just makes it easier since we're already working with a fewer amount of people. We've had, I think, 3 leave recently, so, or within the past year.
Are you getting enough diversity then with only 7 compared to 9?
I think so.
Okay, thank you. Whose hands?
And then Ms. Yang, if you'd
Yeah,
like to
Chair.
speak.
Motion to open the floor.
Oh, right.
Second.
That's important.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it.
Hi, sorry, it's the volume level is going in and out, so I can't really hear you as much. So I serve as the chair for the Equal Rights Commission, and I wanted to share that the proposed amendment is meant to, the proposed amendment to reduce the membership number is, from 9 to 7 is actually intended to improve our ability to consistently meet quorum. Over the past few years, scheduling challenges have made it difficult for the commission to convene regularly. So, that's some of the times it's delayed important decisions and responses. And so a 7-member body really aligns closely to more of the active members, active participation levels. And so it'll ensure that we can move forward on priorities that are timely and effective, while still maintaining diverse representation, in my opinion.
Ms. Yang, what's your address?
1706 Chateau Drive, Greenville, Wisconsin, 54304.
Thank you.
I do have a question for Chair Yang. Do you know how many meetings were not met because you didn't have quorum?
That I'm not too sure. I think this year alone, I mean, we've been able to meet the minimum required meetings. But, you know, I'd like to at least have us meet monthly on a regular basis. So I don't have the specific number for you right now.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Chair? Okay. Motion to close the floor.
Any other
Can I ask
hands?
Ms. Yang a question?
Yes.
What ways have you guys advertised the open seats or tried to fill them?
We actually have members who have interest in the positions. It's not a matter of not being able to recruit people. It's a matter of trying to meet quorum and also making sure that we are able to move forward diligently with some of these pieces of our agenda items that are a little bit more timely. But yeah, so we actually do have interest from the community.
I do have another question. Chair Yang?
Ms. Yang, there's one more
Hi,
question.
Jen.
Hi, sorry about that.
Yeah, sure.
So you talk about meeting quorum. What is the reason why these commissioners are not showing up to these meetings?
That's a great question. I think it's just it's a schedule conflict. You know, as we all know, this is a volunteer-based commission, and so a lot of our other commissioners, they are very, very active in the community, and they have other commitments that they need to tend to as well, and also family priorities as well. So those are some of the reasons why they have been unable to attend. But we, every commissioner, I will say, does have good intention and has been very, very, they've held high integrity in their roles as commissioners. So it's not a matter of disinterest or a matter of not wanting to participate. It's just a matter that their schedules just conflict with the scheduled time.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Anybody else on?
Can we find out?
Alder Eck?
It's just Alder Eck and Ms. Yang. Oh, Alder Grant is still there.
Okay. Any
Motion
other-
to close the floor?
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Alder Eck, if you'd like to speak, just let us know.
Can I ask staff a question?
Yes. Alder Grant.
Are we seeing the same issues of attendance or meeting quorum for other commissions?
I can speak from Public Art Commission, yes, and we're only required to have 5.
You only have 5 members needed to
Yeah.
meet quorum, you said?
Correct.
Sorry, it's kind of echoing hard to hear.
Yeah, I apologize. I think I'm not plugged into the Extron for some reason, so it's coming out of my computer, so if you can't hear, I'm happy to repeat.
Yeah, you're clear as day, so that's super helpful.
Because I'm like 12 inches from the speaker, so unfortunately.
Yes, we hold our breath every time we meet to make sure that we have at least 3 and hope that our 5 and then our 3 community liaisons are able to be there. So yeah, I do think it's across the board, but I think in preparation for this meeting, looking at the requirements for some of our other city commissions, 9 is quite a bit in comparison to some other commissions. So I'm comfortable with the reduction to 7, given that Public Arts only needs 5, others only need 7. I think this one, I didn't look at each and every single one, but certainly 9 is voluminous.
Did you hear all of that, Alder Grant?
I did. Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, what
Alder
about
Eck?
considering going down to 5? Is that something you might think about?
Alder, sorry, you're in charge.
Thank you, Alder, for that. Let's see, maybe the attorney could maybe answer that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the structure and the number of people on any board or commission rests with city council as a whole to determine that structure. The mayor appoints to fill vacancies, and those appointments get approved or rejected by council. So ultimately, the makeup is up to the discretion of the body. So whatever council decides to do, the council is authorized to make whatever changes or amendments are appropriate.
Do you know who brought this forward to make this change?
This was a request by the HR department.
And do you know who reached out to them?
I don't.
Okay.
I think it's kind of sad, whenever we hear, I don't care what it is, complaints against the police department or anything our city does, the first thing is we hear our minorities aren't being represented, and now we're going to cut this down. They're going to get less representation almost.
Well, I think it's a matter of doability. If you can work with 5 or 7, for example, the Plan Commission has 7 members, and that's a pretty powerful commission. So I think 7 is in order from a large viewpoint. 5 may be more doable from a doability standpoint, where you can constantly meet, have quorum, and do it. So I don't think we're necessarily losing out on representation. I think we gotta facilitate actual commission work is more important than trying to make it big. But I understand your point.
And this is also an advisory board to the Common Council. And I don't know if you know this or not, but could you refresh us why Common Council chose 9 at that time?
I don't recall off the top of my head why 9 was chosen. I think that some of that reason was what Alder Morgan had spoken to, wanting to make sure that there was diverse representation of viewpoints on the commission. So I think that's why initially there may have been a bigger number that was selected. But after having several meetings and being in existence, I think this is more of a fine-tuning mechanism that was recommended or asked for by the HR department.
And is this an urgency to make this change now?
For that, I mean, I would defer to either Alder Presley or Chair Yang. I would assume that if they're having difficulties meeting quorum, that the sooner that change can be made, it would make it easier to achieve quorum.
But if we held off on this for another 2 weeks or even until January, we could investigate and see what's all happening to make sure we're making a sound decision.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's my
with you.
thought on it.
Yeah.
But I know Alder Presley has comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Stephen. To answer a couple of things that y'all have brought up, so we initiated this, so it went through HR, it went through our staff liaison, Andrea, I believe. We were talking about it anyway, wanting to go down to 7. The reason that we chose 7 is because that's what we're operating with right now. If we went down to 5, we would have to get rid of 2 commissioners who are there regularly, so we wouldn't really want to do that. In terms of meeting diversity, I think we do have a good diverse body right now. In terms of them making meetings, we've had a couple members who have had some medical issues, I know, and we also come from diverse backgrounds, and that means diverse work schedules and different commitments. So I don't think it's anybody not wanting to serve on this commission. It's just the availability of lining up everybody's schedules has been difficult. But I know that the chair's in favor of there. The chair of the Equal Rights Commission is in favor of this. I'm in favor of this. I think it's a sound move right now, and it comes from what the commission discussed and wanted to go forward with.
So I guess my question for you, this is monthly meeting. If it was stayed at 9 and you did it every other month, do you think that would be beneficial?
Potentially, but I mean, so we're meeting our minimum requirements. I don't think we're required to meet monthly per the ordinance. But we want to meet monthly because we have, you know, like a awareness initiative, outreach initiative, and it's nice to be able to have that continuity of meeting every month. And if we are meeting every other month, you know how things can kind of, you lose track of it, or you don't have that same momentum going. So monthly has worked well when we're able to make monthly, but sometimes we'll have 4 people there who are actively working on something, but it's not quorum, so we can't meet.
I do think this is a good opportunity for us to look at this commission.
Do you
If
think
we need
that-
to make any changes moving forward.
Do you think if the city would advertise we're looking for people, it would help? Apparently, it sounds like we don't ask people if they're interested in being stuff.
I mean, I know somebody right now who would apply, but I told them to hold off because we're making this decision on if we want to go down to 7. So we can get 9 if we want 9, but we just thought 7 would be more appropriate at this time.
So, I don't know if you would know this, maybe the chair knows it, but you guys are dabbling into housing within the city. Has anybody reached out to the apartment association to see if there's any members that might want to sit on this commission?
No?
No, it hasn't been done.
I just think like talking to Alder Ritterbusch at his employment, they have to translate everything in like 19 different languages. Green Bay is getting so diversified, I think we're just lowering our standards this way. You know, I'll go with what HR wants if that's what they want, but I think there's opportunities we're missing here.
That's what I said, I think this might be a prime opportunity for us to look at this. Because right now, it seems like the commission is dealing with LGBTQ and housing, but no other minority in the city, so.
Can I ask what specific things you think will be, like what about the, because the only thing that this is addressing is the size.
Sure.
And there is nothing else in the scope of this communication or agenda item. So I guess I don't know where exactly you feel.
But are we doing the proper notification that there's 2 open seats through the city? Like
Yeah,
Alder
that's-
Morgan's been saying.
Yeah,
And
that I
would
see get posted on Facebook. That's the only time I get to see.
Yeah.
I don't know what other type of outreach could be done there, but yeah.
And I like your thought too about people from the apartment associations, whatever the other factors are out there.
But there's different groups of people within the city that may not be representing it very well. So.
Mhm.
And this would be the commission to do it.
I'd like to make a motion that we hold this until our first January meeting.
For additional information, study. Okay. Do I have a second?
Well, again, this is coming from the commission and staff, so I don't know what exactly we're going to study. I mean, to me, it's pretty black and white. The commission is trying to function. They're hitting bumps in the road. They've looked at it. They'd rather go from 9 to 7. 9 seems to be a lot, and I understand the concept of including as many people as possible, but if the commission itself and staff thinks 7 would cover it, what are we going to study? If it should be 7, 8, 9?
I
thought it was study how to recruit people.
Well, there's recruitment, and then there's meeting every meeting. So the issue seems to be meeting every meeting and coming up with a quorum. And I think that what would make it easier for this commission, what I'm hearing, is if they go to 7, they can make quorum. If you keep it at 9, it's harder because of that one person just doesn't make it, whatever. So I'm actually for letting the commission be active and do what they can do with 7 versus the 9.
I have a question for Attorney Mays. I looked at all the ordinance, or commissions regulated by ordinance, and I didn't see in a single one of them, but I serve on other nonprofit boards in which I see shall consist of a minimum, but no more than. And that is not in any of our city ordinances when we're regulating the number. Is there a reason that we haven't explored that, or is that doable for us to perhaps say consist of a minimum of 7 and no more than 9?
Our numbers have been established by ordinance. They're a finite, specified number. It's not a range, partially to establish what quorum is,
Right.
rather than having quorum change from meeting to meeting. I don't know exactly why there hasn't been a range provided, but all of our commissions do have a specified, definite number of people. So that's consistent across the board.
Alder Grant, do you have a question?
Not really a question, more just a observation. I guess I'm a little confused because there's been vacant spots, and the chair of the committee said having people apply for the committee isn't an issue. So I guess why aren't we filling those spots, and then you would probably have a better chance of filling quorum. So I guess I'm just kind of confused as to what's going on with that.
Motion up on the floor.
So that's a reason why, we don't know that answer, Alder Grant, at the moment. I think that's why we want to hold and refer to the staff for additional information.
I'm sorry, Chair, before we move on, Alder Morgan made a motion to hold until January PNP meeting, but I don't believe anyone seconded it.
Oh, not yet.
Okay, so no one seconded it, is that accurate?
Right.
Okay.
So it's dead in the water.
I would second that.
Oh, you did?
I would, yes.
Are you? Or-
Yes, I will.
Okay, just give me a second then. Okay.
So
Keeping
we-
that alive.
But we're still discussing from the.
Yeah, and you can open the floor.
Yep. Motion to open the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays?
Okay.
Ayes have it. Chair Yang?
Hi, I just wanted to address some of the questions that you guys had, thank you for bringing it up. We absolutely value diverse representation and recognize how important it is for the commission. The intent behind reducing the membership of 9 to 7 isn't to limit the voices or advocacy or education. It's to improve our ability to maintain that quorum and be consistently, even if we were to fill that 9-member seat every month, to have those meetings, or every other month to have those meetings. You just never know which members will or will not be able to make it. So for me, having a 7-member seat is really important in order to be able to meet that quorum consistently, and also move forward with really timely events and agenda items. And appointments are ultimately made by the mayor's discretion, and we are confident that the future selections can still reflect a diverse range of perspectives. The adjustment doesn't change what we advocate for or the issues that we talk about. The mission still remains unchanged. Reducing the number really just enforces that we are able to continue meeting. And to answer one of the questions that came up about why these vacancies haven't been filled. One, what you see on the website is not the full updated term end and start dates. And then secondly, some of the commissioners just recently, within the last month or so, finally resigned. And so it wasn't vacant for the last year or last couple of years. These are very recent vacancies, and when they were resigned due to their own personal reasons, we weren't. We thought, okay, this is the moment. This is strategic because we don't have to ask anyone to step down. They were, they self-resigned, and so this was just the perfect moment. Instead of having other people step down, this just fit naturally to lower the number from 9 to 7.
So Chair Yang, you just stated that people have resigned this year. So you had 9 at one time this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you feel like you've given yourself enough time to fill those 2 vacancies?
It's not a matter of filling vacancies. Again, as I've been stating, even if we had enough time, and we do have enough time, we do have a list of people who are interested. However, if we were to add more commissioners onto our commission, we would continue to have the trouble of meeting quorum. And that is why we want to reduce the number from 9 to 7. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's still, questioning, are the correct people on this commission if you're not meeting quorum?
It's not the matter of fact of having correct people. We have people who have high integrity who are committed to making sure that we carry out this ordinance that we're commissioned to support. However, it's the fact that everyone has different schedules, and the larger of a group you have, the more of a conflict you're going to have when you're trying to schedule things. So it's not a matter of fact of having the right people or having, equal voices. If we limit the numbers, we're not going to have equal voices. It's not that. We're still going to continue our work. It's just right now, because we can't meet quorum due to conflicting schedules, we can't even do any of the work. We cannot meet. We cannot discuss business.
But the way you're commenting, it seems like these commissioners are not committed.
No.
If you're not meeting quorum.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the questioning is coming from.
They have these commissioners that you have on board. We are all advocates. We are stretched very thinly because we are so vocal. We have a lot of passion for what we do, and so they are. They have priorities. They have other immediate things that they need to tend to, and so that's why some of them weren't able to make it to some of the meetings. But like I said, our commissioners that we've had on board, they have the highest integrity. They have the highest commitment levels. It's just the conflict of schedules.
Sure, that's why I mentioned maybe it might be best to go every other month.
And that's exactly why we need to lower it down to 7.
I can understand why if you have 2 more people on that can make a major percentage of the meetings, that would give you more quorum.
Ms. Yang, did you hear Alder Morgan's comment?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Thank you.
I understand. I do understand, what you're saying. However, monthly, you just never know which member is going to make it or not make it. It's going to be different members. You can say I'm committed for 12 months, but things come up, life happens, and you just, like I said, out of 9 members, you never know which, month one of those members or 2 or 3 of those members, are going to simultaneously not be able to make it. So it's different members each time. It's not the same members. It's different members each time. So it's not, we can get some, people to fill the seats and say I'm committed for 12 months, but life happens, and that, nothing that we can predict.
Chair Yang, I know Alder Presley mentioned that he knows of at least one person that he's recommended holding off pending this action. Do you know if maybe the mayor's office is sitting on any other applicants that were interested, but is the mayor's office potentially doing the same thing? Would you happen to know that? If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, sure. We do have one applicant that has come highly recommended through community members and also through the mayor, and then also we have a few more that have not applied just because they weren't sure of whether or not they would have that time commitment. But we have members who are very interested in the community, and we did have a discussion with the mayor's office about this reduction as well.
So it sounds like there's people that are interested in sitting on this commission, correct?
But they don't know if they have the time to commit, and that's why they're not joining. And I assume that's going to be the same with many others, and so it's really important for us to move forward with some of the work that needs to be shared with the public. And in order to do so, we have to meet those quorums.
Has there been discussion about moving the date of the week of the meeting?
Yes. Yes, we tried several times, and those 3 or 4 times that we switched the dates, it still has not worked.
So it sounds like this is an issue that's been ongoing, and one of the ways to solve it is to go from the number 9 to the number 7. And I don't know, I don't understand the kickback on that. If the commission and staff thinks that's a way to go, which will be more successful in having quorums. I guess, in my mind, what's the kickback on that? I mean, I understand maybe less representation to a point, but on the other hand, the commission wants to do work and they can't as the way things currently stand. So what's the kickback on from going 9 commissioners to 7, really? I mean, the plan commission has 7. So I'd recommend that we approve.
Motion to close the floor.
Oh, motion to close the floor. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, ayes have it.
So I'd make the recommendation that we approve this, and then maybe if we want to ask them in 6 months how it's going, can we raise it? We ask them, but we want to give them a working
I think-
7.
I think we have an underlying motion that we have to dispel first.
There's a motion to hold.
I
think
thought that was
doesn't-
not, oh, it was seconded, I'm sorry.
Right, it was.
So I don't feel there's a rush on changing this. So we could hold or send the staff for additional information to make a sound decision.
But, okay, Alder, I respect that, but where are we going to go to get the more information? We've got the commission's
Well,
word.
there was questions that were asked today that were not answered.
Okay, so if, I just don't see the usefulness of it from going from 9 to 7 to hold it. I just don't.
I would second, and I feel that it's an ordinance change. It is going to have to go through 2 readings at council level anyway. I'm comfortable making my decision today. I'm looking at the upcoming Equal Rights Commission meeting dates, January 8th, February 12th. So thinking of the concept of winter months when it's already difficult to meet, for a lot of folks who don't have reliable transportation, there may be snowstorms that affect their ability to meet, and then we continue to kick this down the can. I'm comfortable getting the information I need prior to our council meeting if we proceed this evening, because I too have some questions jotted down that I'd like to take back, but I don't see the need to hash it out at committee level. I feel comfortable moving forward this evening, sending it to council.
Alder Eck?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think, I know, you're asking kind of the pushback. And I just remember us having a conversation about the Equal Rights Commission and bringing in, if you remember correctly, I know Alder Hutchison, you were on the council, we were all discussing this back when you were on the Equal Rights Commission.
Yeah.
About bringing in more of the stakeholders and, kind of like a housing task force. It doesn't necessarily have to be a separate committee, but that's kind of what, had come up is kind of helping because they talk about housing to bring in more of those. So I guess that's maybe why you're feeling a little bit of the pushback is because we're looking at it as an opportunity to bring some of those stakeholders in. Or I'm looking at that. That's
Right.
what I'm doing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alder. I understand your comment, and I think that was a specific issue that would have been great to have all stakeholders meet, not necessarily as Equal Rights Commission, but talking about an issue the Equal Rights Commission brought up regarding housing. I think you're bringing up a good point, and having a special subcommittee to work on that. And as evidence of that, the Equal Rights Commission just wrote a report that helped establish the short-term renter alliance, which now exists because of that report. And it was, if you read the report, it's rather balanced. It's not as one-sided as you think. So the Equal Rights Commission is getting work done, but they need traction to get further work done. And they're simply asking to go from the number 9 to 7. And I would think if that would make them more effective, I would approve that. And like Alder Prophet says, if we want to have them look at it in the next week or couple weeks for the first and second reading, we could do that then. But I want them to be able to work.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and allow Chair Yang to speak. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair?
Hi there, I just wanted to touch on what was said just recently there about the fact that you guys, since we wrote a report about housing, you guys wanted to see some other housing representatives on the commission. It's I wanted to say that we don't only work on housing. We work on an expansive, we work on a lot of issues and a lot of items that I don't think that if a person from, who was a landlord was sitting on here would really want to use their time to talk about. And so we want people who have backgrounds that are diverse, but also that they're interested in several topics, not just one topic like housing.
Questions, comments?
Motion close floor.
Oh, well, actually, I would just leave the floor open. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to keep going back and forth?
No.
I just, I'm on several commissions and the new president of Crime Stoppers. I don't see where we ever have a problem with Zoom and stuff nowadays. I know, like, just even the water commission I was at this morning, I can count probably 2 times in the last year where we didn't have everyone on board, either on Zoom or something. And I don't see where waiting to see why we're not filling these positions isn't a better idea.
I would agree. Okay. Any other discussion? We have one vote to...
So you're gonna need to close the floor to make a motion, right, to deal with that?
Sure.
We didn't vote on
Chair
that.
Yang, do you have any other comments?
No, I didn't really hear what you guys were just talking about, but I think my last comment would just be that, again, we're not decreasing the member seats to limit our scope. We are limiting that so that we can meet quorum and move forward efficiently. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Motion to close the floor.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Alder Grant or Alder Eck, any comments?
I think it's just
I don't have anything further, and Alder Grant had to, she logged off.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Alder Presley.
Thank you,
Just
Chair.
way back there.
I'm not sure why y'all would want to hold this either. I understand you have some questions, but as Alder Prophet said, we have time to look into what those questions are. But this is coming from the commission. I think the issue that this commission specifically is having is also a feature of the people who are on that commission. We have people with disabilities. We have people with kids. We have people who work third shift. We have people who are, in situations that their voices are very important to be heard because they're not the people who can regularly make it to city council meetings. We're exactly the people who should be advising on issues in the city, but they also have trouble making it to the Equal Rights Commission. As devoted as they are, if you have a disability and something comes up, you're going to have trouble coming to a commission meeting. If you want to keep it at 9 and add 2 unemployed landlords, that would probably help us reach our quorum better, but I don't know if you're going to get the same diversity of opinion that you would if we were to go forward with this plan. Bring it down to 7, keep the people we have now. We're all great people who are doing the work to really advise the city on issues that have to do with equality, and let us continue that work. I mean, we wanted to do a resolution. We wanted to start a resolution at the commission level in support of the Somali community after some of the rhetoric that's been going on. That's something we would love to do. We can't make quorum this week, so we're not going to be able to do that. If we had 2 fewer members, we would be able to make quorum, and we would be be able to take action now on something that is timely and that the commissioners care about, but we just can't get all of them there. So really, I don't see any purpose in holding off on this. As somebody who's on the commission, who knows the people there, and I think can speak pretty well for what their interests are here, I say just go with it.
Does your commission not have Zoom capabilities?
We do have Zoom capabilities, Alder, but again, people who are working can't be on Zoom while they're working. This is a diverse, we're not all, retired. We have different responsibilities that we're not all going to be there and able to schedule at the same time. Again, I think that is a feature of the commission's makeup, which is exactly what we want. We want people from different backgrounds, but different backgrounds means different ability and maybe not able to go on the Zoom that day.
I think I would have a different opinion if all of our city commissions were well established at 9 and we were trying to make this the anomaly. Much different conversation for me. But this is already the anomaly. Public Arts has 5, Plan Commission has 7, a majority have 7. I'm more than comfortable moving forward. This is a very reasonable ask. It's supported by staff, it's supported by the commission itself. That is really disheartening to hear that we can't make that happen, to be frank, this week with everything that we've seen as a community, and that is what we lean on our equal rights commissioners for. It's making me a little emotional to think about that we can't do that and we can't let our community know they're supported because we can't make quorum. This is without a doubt an easy yes for me to move forward and make this reduction immediately.
But I would need to question if you're going to sign up on a commission to help the city, you should be committed to it.
I don't think, and I don't want to step in for Alder Presley, I don't think it's the same person habitually not making quorum. It is a rotation of the 9 individuals, and I'm seeing a head nod, in which some months these folks can't make it, some months these folks can't, and it's always, I mean, I've been following the meetings, I can tell. It's not the same individuals, it's a diverse group in a multitude of fashions, so it's not one person. If it is, this wouldn't be here. That person would be dealt with, and we would have someone else fill those shoes. That is not what's being discussed. It's not a personnel problem.
And if I could add on, I was the alder who was on it before Alder Presley, the 2 years before, and it was consistent then. We were always hoping to have a quorum when we met, simply because it was rotating. We didn't know who was going to not make it. For those 2 years, we were able to make relatively consistent quorums, but there were times when we got together and we didn't, and so we'd have to disband, and so it's just an ongoing thing. It's just there. So I think going from 9 to 7 totally makes sense to allow this commission to move forward and go to work. And I don't know if we can add on to looking at a minimum of 7 going to 9, if that's legal. Can we legally look at staff to look at that or not? Because I'd like to keep it higher if we could, but if they work with 7 better, I'm okay with going to 7. But it'd be nice to have that latitude.
So if they have 7, quorum, they need 4.
Correct.
Are they going to run into the same issues?
Lot
Not having quorum.
A lot less, because I know we were 1 short sometimes. So that made all the difference. We couldn't have a meeting.
Because traffic by Comped, we have 7, and we always have 7 every single meeting.
I
unless
know,
it's
but we're
canceled.
talking about this specific commission, and it's been historically very similar, for the last 4 years, to get enough quorum to, be able to do the meeting. It's just the way it is,
So
for
it's-
whatever reason.
Correct, I understand that, Alder, that it's been 4 years, but now 4 years later, it's being brought to us. Why wasn't this brought to us 2 years ago so we could correct it?
Well, it wasn't as big a problem 2 years ago. It was not at the point it is now, apparently. So, again, going from 9 to 7, I don't know what that big deal is, where we need to look into it and that type of thing. Because it is an outlier. 9 is a lot. So, I don't understand waiting for this. We can ask now to go from 9 to 7, and then as we're reading, we can ask for additional information, Alder, if you'd like.
Sure. Then we'll go to common council.
I know in commissions, I'm not the one appointed by the mayor, but my other ones, and people are asked if they want to be members or asked if they can. The first thing is we have to agree we can commit to so much. So I think they need, first of all, someone wants to be on it. Our chairperson knows someone, we could fill 9. And I don't know why we don't tell those people, here's what's going to happen, will you be able to commit to this?
But can 7 do the work of 9? I mean,
Yes,
what-
but it's giving less.
yes.
of
I
the whole
understand
picture.
that, but
Yeah.
it's the
You could
difference.
actually get 4 people that want to get something through, are going to get it through because they only got 3 people that's going to vote no on it all of a
Right.
sudden.
Yeah, I understand that part of it.
The way it is with 9, I'd see more. They'd have to get 4 people to agree with something that might not be right, you know?
And it's an advisory board to common council, so the more people you think would be better off for us.
Yeah.
Right, but we're talking about functioning and being able to do work. If you can't function, you're not getting your work done. And I think the ask to go from 9 to 7 makes sense to allow them to work. And if we want to try to push it back up to 9, that'd be great, but at least give them the 7 so they can work.
I'm just gonna follow up from my question I had earlier for the city attorney. Could we establish right within it that quorum is 4, or quorum's a rotating thing based on how many members, even if we write it in?
Under Robert's rules, it would be 50% plus 1.
Okay. So it would rotate, and that would be likely a staff, right? If we'd say 7 to 9 and they had 9, then it would be 5. If they actively had 9, even if we say it's 4.
Correct.
Which makes sense. I just had to ask the silly question.
Yeah.
But there is, to my knowledge, a staff member, and that it is rotating. If this is the sword that someone wants to fall on, I would lean then that we do 7 to 9. I know it's a little harder to distinguish, but I don't even know why the reduction to 7 is creating as much animosity as it is personally.
I wouldn't consider it animosity. I would consider it, we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we are doing the full representation to this community. And by reducing it to 7, we have 2 other people that may be interested that will not be able to sit on this commission.
Yeah.
That may represent an area of the city.
Yeah, I would just argue that canceling 5 out of their 12 meetings this year would lead to less representation as well.
Right. If they
I
can't do the
understand
work,
that.
they can't do the work. That's,
And that goes back to my comment. We need to find out the reason why they're being canceled so that we can correct that.
can
And
we,
going down to 7, we don't know if there'll be future cancellations because of people's timing, scheduling.
Oh, the precedent's handled.
That's all.
I can't say this with perfect certainty, but I believe every time we've had to cancel, it has been because we are 1 short. So
When are
this
your
would-
meetings?
What's that?
What day of the week or time of day are your meetings?
Thursday,
At what time?
5:30.
I agree too, but they looked into changing their meeting times or dates.
And we had, at the beginning, I know of my term, there was a survey put out that when could people meet? Most 5:30 on Thursday was the one we went with, because that was what survey said.
I just want to make sure we're moving forward and not just rushing this through. So that's why all the questions are coming from me.
sure.
But we do have a motion to hold. And there is a second. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays?
Nay.
2 to 2. So it goes to common council without recommendation?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks for the vivid conversation today on that. On to informational. Green Bay Police Department violation report for liquor and massage establishments.
From November 13th through December 4th, no liquor law violations, DA referrals, or massage violations. We did issue 3 citations for various incidents. November 21st, on Broadway Street, a male was cited for battery. On November 23rd, downtown here on Washington Street, once again, a male was cited for battery and disorderly conduct. And then on November 23rd, there was an incident on Broadway where the parties were being ushered away. Those that remained did not wish to ID themselves. We did a proper referral, and at that establishment, we did have a correction meeting. One of our community police officers is still working with the liquor license holder to, I guess, work with us and the surrounding establishments and business owners. But if it continues, then we'll proceed with the next steps for their license.
Any questions? If not, thank you. On to our next meeting, which was a typo error. It'll be January 13th, 2026.
By
Adjournment.
25?
Yeah.
Oh.
Adjournment.
Go in.
Motion adjourned.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? We're now adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming.